So it's 2:04 in the afternoon and I'm just waking up. This is what happens whenever I go to sleep around 3 to 4 in the morning. I'm always trying to get 8 hours of sleep. But Sunday, I only got what? I got home around 12. I woke up at 5. I only got 5 hours sleep because I didn't sleep that whole night. So my sleep ends up accumulating, and then one of these days I just have to sleep completely. I ended up waking up today like around 9, and that's not enough hours, so I forced myself to go back to sleep. Woke up at 11, and then after that I didn't wake up till like 2. So yeah, one thing I'm trying to do again is get sleep. Sleep is super important, um, and I don't want to function without any sleep. So that means I have to wake up later. Um, but today we have to start working 100% on Badger. Again, going back to rejection. Even though I'm trying to avoid it like the plague, it's something that I can't avoid any longer. Like the longer I push it, the longer I'm like, you know what? I'll wait for tomorrow. You know what? I'll just send 10 messages tomorrow, or I'll just send 2 messages today and I'll send the rest tomorrow. And like, no, like that type of attitude has to stop completely. Like right now, it has to stop right now because I need to figure out a different way to approach things. Up to now, I've sent maybe like 15 to 20 messages, and I haven't received a single reply back. I'm not sure if it's the area, if it's just the approach, if it's just a platform. So I'm not ruling my idea out. It's just I need to start gathering data. Like if I'm not building the app, like if I'm not coding the app, then I need to start doing something for Badger, and the best way to do it is by gathering data. Um, but yeah, do I need to make the message a little bit more personal? I'm not sure what I'm doing currently. I'm just copy and pasting the message just so that way we could send these messages so much quicker. It's just copy and paste, and there's not necessary. It comes off as a pitch instead of like a personalized message. But maybe I'll start like changing and adjusting it. But the if I start doing that, making it more personalized to each individual, then then it's just I don't know. It's just gonna take a little bit longer, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to sacrifice that for like I don't. I'm not willing. I'm not sure if I'm willing to sacrifice that for speed. I guess speed equals more messages. So I don't know. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna go down the list and we're gonna message. We're gonna try to message. I was gonna try to do like five different categories, but we might just focus on one category, send 20 messages for that, and then jump to the next category and then send 20 messages through that, and then like that. Or we might just try to message all the people that we possibly can with that fit that one category and that one specific like avenue. So maybe like finding all the photographers in San Antonio and just sending them all messages. Um, yeah, we have I have to figure out something, and the best way to do it is just by doing it. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna focus on completely. So from all the way to like 6 p.m. again, because I kind of don't want to message people too late, but we're still gonna do it regardless if we have time. But just leave the like late at night, just so that way we can start like making listings for the clothes that we sell, because that's also a priority. How are we gonna survive if we don't have money to survive on? So we gotta keep selling things. So that's probably what we're gonna do. So from 2 to like 6, just find people and just message them, message. And depending how that works, if messaging isn't being effective, then we have to like find a different approach. Maybe now this is scarier than messaging people, approaching people like in real time. I think that's way scarier than messaging. So hopefully messages works, but if not, we're gonna have to figure a different avenue. But again, this goes back to Badger. I believe in face-to-face conversations over messaging people for this exact same reason. Again, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to start keeping data on how many messages we sent, the people that we messaged. I guess, I don't know, maybe like a spreadsheet, just so that way, yeah, I guess maybe a spreadsheet, so that way we actually have data available for it. Because if not, it's gonna, yeah, if not, it's gonna bite us in the butt. So yeah, I might just start doing a spreadsheet just so that way we have full data that we could see, visualize, um, from every category message, how many messages we sent, how many replies we got, and things like that. A lot of things we have to get done by today and by this week. First of all, I need to start working on the spreadsheet that just gathers data from the user, from who I messaged. Did they respond? Did we end up meeting? What field they're from? And just start collecting data. So even if we do send messages, I start knowing if they replied or not, was this a value or not, and just start gathering data. Again, we're gonna need this data for investors. Hopefully we start gathering more like viable data, such as data that we got from the actual meetup. But for now, this should suffice. In the process of putting in the work, we also have to start messaging people. I'm not gonna message any more boutiques because from what I've gathered so far, I haven't gotten a response, and that's totally okay. We just got to move on to a different field. We got to send at least 50 messages per field, and then there's like 5 categories that I have to go down and just start picking 50 and messaging 50 people from each field. After that, this whole week, I told my sister to help me creating like a little video promoting what Badge is all about, so that way we could target software programmers. That's one of the main things I also have to start working on is creating like a cool little pitch, so that way I could start messaging software programmers and trying to find a co-founder to help me start Badger. I feel that the best way is gonna be visually. That's what I like, with the little small description, so that way they could see like my vision, and then just giving them a little quick information of what I'm trying to build. And the whole point of it is not for them to help me build it, but for them to be part of Badger, part of making history with Badger. So I need to start learning more financial things. That's another thing where we got to learn financial, like the financial aspect of starting a startup, especially when you have nothing. Like how am I gonna split up Badger? Especially when looking for investors, looking for co-founders, how all of that works, how much of the company I'll be giving up, just so that way I could find a loyal, trustworthy co-founder. So yeah, that's another thing that I have to start working on. So we have to look into the financial aspect. We have to start creating a small pitch deck for potential co-founder, and we have to just start messaging people to start gathering data for Badger. So those are the 3 main things we have to focus on by the end of this whole journey. Hopefully we find a co-founder by the end of this month. That's the goal. Hopefully we have at least 10 meetups by the end of this month, and then just start working towards Badger. This is how we start setting goals for ourselves. And yeah, again, gather data. That's what I could do for my part. Facing my fears and going out and like trying to meet people and trying to pitch my idea. I think that's another important thing I have to focus on is getting an elevator pitch quickly. Having my elevator pitch, and yeah, so that's another thing we have to add to the list. We're gonna make the list right now, just so that way we start like having notes of the things we have to do. But yeah, we're gonna start working on our spreadsheet right now.
Incentivized teams. You can have investors, which is cool.
My sister trying to drop off her resume.
Can we make it?